What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we're hearing that Republicans and Democrats alike are saying that we need more stimulus checks. Another fourth federal level stimulus check to go out to everybody in the nation. And they're saying that this is needed right now because we're hearing that today the Federal Reserve is going to be announcing increasing interest rates significantly, which will likely slow down the economy, and we're hearing will very likely cause a recession. They're saying we need recession stimulus checks. Now, in addition to that, we're hearing that these governors across the nation are saying that we need inflation relief. Send the money out to help out the American people. Now, I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. As I mentioned, Republicans and Democrats alike are saying right now we need more checks. This is your breaking news stimulus check update and stimulus package update. Now, we're also hearing that the American people are saying, yes, send out the checks. 80% of Americans polled right now say the number one top concern of the administration and of Congress should be the state of our economy right here in the United States, bringing down prices, dealing with inflation, sending out direct assistance to the American people to help them out at this time. And we're hearing, like I said, Republicans and Democrats are saying, send it out. Take a look at these headlines, you guys. California and Florida are dueling over stimulus checks as a tool against inflation. And it's the latest example of their governors' ideological clashes, as we have Governor Gavin Newsom and Governor Ron DeSantis, Republican and Democrat, both saying send out checks, but in very different ways. We're going to be covering this. And also, you guys, we're hearing that both of these might make a presidential run in 2024. That's right. They're saying instead of a recap or a repeat of President Joe Biden and President Donald Trump running, it might be Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom running for president in 2024, both of whom are saying we need more checks. And right now, they're sending out checks to their state residents. And we're seeing this pop up all the time. We're seeing states, counties, and cities sending out checks. And I know a lot of people on here are saying, well, mine isn't sending anything right now. That might be true, or you might not know about it, but that doesn't mean that tomorrow more checks might come out. As take a look at this, you guys. Texas. What to do with Texas's $24 billion budget surplus. Right now, lawmakers in Texas are sitting around trying to figure out what to do with $24 billion of leftover surplus funds. Now, will they send out stimulus checks, some form of tax rebates? We will see. I will keep you up to date what kind of funding is going to be supported, what kind of programs. But this is happening all the time. This is because of excess surplus and also tons of leftover, literally billions of dollars from the last stimulus package, the American Rescue Plan. All of this money, they're compiling it. They're figuring out ways to send out provisions to help out their state, city, and county residents. Now, as these pop up, if you want to know about them, it's easy. I'm making it all in one location. Just go to www.reliefroadmap.com to make sure that you don't miss out when these programs pop up. All you're going to do is enter your email, and you'll be notified once the comprehensive list is ready. Because a lot of these, unfortunately, the word is not out. People don't know about these programs, and they're only available for a limited amount of time. In most cases, you have to apply, and you don't even know if you're eligible. So don't do aimless hours of searching, trying to figure out where to go, who to call, am I even eligible? Just put in your email at www.reliefroadmap.com, and I'll make sure that you know about everything that's available. Rest assured that you'll have access to everything. And also, help spread the word. Don't keep this a secret like it's been. Make sure that your friends and family know. Let them put their emails in as well so everyone can get access to the list. But you guys, I'm going to be releasing that hopefully this month. Get everything available in your hands so you can know about it. And also, you guys, as I mentioned, today we're going to be hearing from the Federal Reserve about increasing interest rates. We're going to see how this impacts our economy and how Congress is going to be responding. Right now, we're hearing Republicans and Democrats are saying send out inflation relief checks to deal with this potential recession that's coming on the horizon. And if you missed my video on the update on what's going to be coming, check it out right after this one. I covered the details of what we can expect to see from the Federal Reserve today. So you guys, let's go ahead and dive into these articles on stimulus checks. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, before we dive in, if you could do me a quick favor, just takes a second. If you appreciate these updates, don't forget, smash that like button for me. Helps out the channel a ton. Thank you so much. And if you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not? Come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything going on. I cite all my sources, put them on the screen, read right from them so you know what's the latest. To come join. It's totally free. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. And if you got any specific questions for me, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. Just hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3, and make sure that you spell it right. There's a lot of imposters out there trying to pose as me, trying to scam people and steal their money. You guys, I've only got one Instagram account, SteveRam3. So shoot me a DM. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest. All right, so link in the description below to this article that came out that says, on opposite coasts, two governors are preparing to cut checks to help their residents deal with the inflation that's ravaging the country. But their approaches look completely different. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you the two different approaches. Let me know which one you think is best. Now, in the East, Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida is prepping checks for a subset of residents hit hard by soaring prices. Ever the fiscal conservative, DeSantis is picking targeted aid for 59,000 households over a sweeping and expensive stimulus program. So they're saying this is very affordable. He's making it targeted to send it to those who need it the most. So his approach is very specific. Like a sniper, just very specific, not blasting it out to everybody. Now, in the West, California Governor Gavin Newsom is taking that opposite approach. The governor is tapping into the Golden State's record high reserves to send out a sizable aid to 23 million people, marketing the payments as a middle-class tax rebate meant to offset the impacts of inflation. So one is a shotgun blast to everybody. The other one is a targeted specific stimulus check. Yet critics worry more cash relief would worsen the very problem that it hopes to address. A criticism of Biden's pandemic stimulus measures voiced often over the last year. Now it says both strategies come with a major risk. Now at face value, both states plan to seek to counter the effects of high inflation without worsening the problem. Yet both efforts have some nasty pitfalls that show the weakness of each party's views of the government's spending. Now Newsom's checks could exacerbate the inflation that's already gripped the millions of Californians. The stimulus checks passed earlier in the pandemic powered sharp increases in demand as recipients quickly turned around and spent their extra cash. The payment helped the economy quickly rebound, but as business struggled to meet Americans' extraordinary demand, prices rocketed even higher. Now, DeSantis' strategy, meanwhile, could repeat the errors of recessions of the past. The GOP has long preferred fiscal austerity over widespread spending, arguing that targeted measures minimize the risk of higher inflation. Yet an early push of austerity in the years after a fiscal crisis lead to an unnecessarily long recovery. Now, the latest round of relief checks will leave millions of Floridians without any aid. And as inflation accelerates, that lack of support could force households to tap into their savings just to ride out the price surge. Now, the two approaches to inflation aid show yet another wedge between the country's political factions. While Democrats are fearing financial pain and Republicans decrying inflation risks, the solutions to soaring prices remains highly partisan. So the one perspective, the perspective of Governor Gavin Newsom and Democrats in California is send out the relief, send it widespread, send it to everybody so that way they can get through this financial crisis. It may cause inflation, but it's also going to cause a quick recovery. And then they're going to try to taper down that inflation over time, which is kind of the path that the country is on right now. Now, the other perspective is just send out targeted relief, send it out to those who need it the most. Do not spend a lot of money so that way we don't cause even further inflation, but they're saying this could still cause a lot of economic pain as people are going to be suffering. They're not going to get assistance, and they're saying that it will cause a long, drawn-out recovery, kind of like what we saw with the Great Recession. That lasted a significantly long time for us to recover, and they're saying that we should have sent out more stimulus provisions and assistance. Same thing with the Great Depression that we had in the past. It wasn't until after years and years and years of just trying to ride it out that they finally sent out new programs, new provisions to help out people, and those, they said, helped spark the recovery. So they want to make sure that they can send out assistance right away, but it's a balancing act of overdoing it and not doing enough, trying to figure out the right balance of assistance to send out and over what course of time. Now, take a look at this, you guys. Ron DeSantis has vocalized that he's convinced that Biden's stimulus caused the inflation, that the stimulus packages is what's causing the inflation right now. Now, his solution is to take the stimulus money that he has given and send it for inflation relief checks to Floridians. Take a look, you guys. You cannot print trillions and trillions of dollars and expect there not to be some effect on the back end, said Ron DeSantis. Even Keynesian economics would say that if you spend and print, that it's going to drive up up the cost of everything. And so that's what we're seeing right now. He was referring to economics John Maynard Keynes, who, beside literally writing the book on stimulus spending, said over 100 years ago that there is no subletter, no surer means of overturning an existing basis of society than to debauch the currency. But also, as DeSantis noticed, the 40-year high inflation that Floridians are experiencing in 2022 is really a problem. Now, last week, DeSantis announced a new strategy to offset the cost of rising inflation. He is going to be sending out his own form of stimulus checks, $450 for each child in your care. He's going to be sending that out. Now, the federal government caused inflation by deficit spending, they said. Stimulus checks were a part of that. By contrast, the budget surplus in Florida is at the state level, and it's already money in existence. We do not print more money here. So, no, it's not going to be causing more inflation. And this is the key point that people have been bringing up for a fourth federal level stimulus check. Don't send out more money. Don't do more spending. Just take existing funds and repurpose them and send it out. And that is exactly what they're saying, is that they have surplus state funds they're going to send out for these checks. We have surplus federal funds, $800 billion just left over sitting. Take that, send it out. It will not add to inflation. It is not more spending. It's existing funds just sitting there. So right here, Ron DeSantis is bringing up a great point where he's saying, hey, we've already got all this money just sitting here. Let's just go ahead and send it out. Florida is among several other states, including California and Colorado, that are issuing stimulus or tax rebate checks this summer to lessen the burden of inflation on the residents. And at least 10 states have already stepped up and given out refundable credits or deductions to families with children after the federal child tax credit expired last year. Now, in March, DeSantis approved another year of $1,000 bonus checks for first responders as well. So there you have it, you guys. A lot of stimulus provisions and checks going out right now, and they're saying we need to make these targeted, we need to repurpose existing funds, and what we need to send out inflation relief to help out people right now. This coming from a Democrat and a Republican governor at the same time, who both might end up running for president in 2024. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys, but you can see there is still a push for stimulus checks, and a lot of this is going to keep coming up right now, as I mentioned to you, around these midterm elections. Now, we will see. I will keep you up to date as to whether or not any of this passes, if it's all just going to be proposals, or if there is, in fact, going to be more provisions sent out. Now, we're hearing that if Democrats in Congress want to stay in power, they have got to get something done. And we've heard that if they can't pass it through legislation, President Joe Biden will likely step up and do executive orders and actions. They've got a laundry list ready for him to start issuing out provisions, funds, and executive orders, you guys. Like I said, I'll keep you up to date every step of the way. But that is the latest, and as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget to take a quick second, smash that like button for me. It helps out the channel a ton if you appreciate the content. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not come join the Ram fam? All you got to do is very quickly hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. Any specific questions, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3. Consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. More content coming on that channel as well. And also, again, keep an eye out for that comprehensive list of all checks on all levels so you don't miss out on anything. All you got to do is go to www.reliefroadmap.com, put in your email, and you'll be notified of everything available to you right now so you don't miss out on anything. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this reaches you well, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.